Buckhead's interesting, very interesting. I grew up here, so I was in the Buckhead Village as a college person, so I saw it as a bar town. I actually worked in a bar in Buckhead for a while. And then I was around when they tore it all down, when Carter bought it all up. I was an appraiser by then, started buying it all up, and it was entertaining watching guys like Rohrig and Loudermilk jump in between Carter and flip properties and make $1 million in a day. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on the wrong end of all these transactions. So, you know, Carter made everything go sky high in the Buckhead market through 2007, and it all fell apart, and it just sat there, parking decks, for several years. You could get a nice view of it from Capital City Grill if you were ever eating there. Past that, kind of wondering, you know, what was going to go on and how was it going to turn around. I have to give I guess it's the Buckhead Coalition that kind of runs that stuff, if I remember correctly. I have to give them credit because they held out for their view. They really wanted the bars gone, and they wanted the mixed-use development and kind of change the face of the village. Obviously, Buckhead's more than just the village, but that's the one that's always, you know, kind of the area that's talked a lot about. So let's talk first about the Buckhead Apartments. We've kind of hit, and I touched on this a little bit, we kind of already just hit the perfect storm in Buckhead and Midtown and Atlanta. I mean, we got the rents right now are not supporting new suburban construction. So everybody's focused in on these urban locations. You've got, you know, part of the reason the construction costs are so high, we've got 2 stadiums under construction in this town, just sucking up a ton of the industry supply and availability of workers and all that stuff. Then we got highway construction going on. So that's really pushed everything into the urban locations. And again, as I touched earlier, the millennials are perceived as wanting the walkable city, live, work, you know, piled in a bunch of people in one space. I don't understand it, but that's not me. So that's kind of really driven what's gone on. And right now, we're seeing in between, the gap between A and B rents are at historic levels. So that's kind of what's driving most of the development that's going on in Buckhead and the apartment side. So I just got this from CoStar. This is the 1 and 5 year stats for the market. Just some of the interesting things that I kind of saw as I was looking through this. All right, so right here, the vacancy rate for this one at this point in time is 8.5% in the multifamily market, whereas it's 4.7 in the 5 year average. And that's just a direct reflection of all the new deliveries. There's been 5,000 new units come online in the Buckhead market since 2012. And I think there's about 2,200 in the pipeline right now. That's just crazy. And we've got down here, you can see values are going up a little bit. They're kind of inching up. And then down here, the cap rates are continue to compress, especially as these Class A properties come online. I mean, that's the ones that, again, the foreign investors are after, the REITs are after. So that really compresses the cap rates when those guys get involved in all this stuff. And this is the one that was most interesting to me, is the asking rents right here. So here's the current year, and this is the 5 year average. And this is an increase versus the current year versus the 5 year average. So in 1 bedroom, it's 12% increase, 2 bedrooms 14, and 3 bedrooms 25. So the average asking price right now for a 3 bedroom in Buckhead is $2,600. So this is just a graph kind of the same thing that we just looked at, just in graph form. As you can obviously see, kind of just teetered around down here in vacancy rate, 11, 12, 13, which is strong. I mean, 4%, that's way outperforming the metro Atlanta market. I mean, way, way outperforming it. And then the spike here as a result of deliveries. Here's the rents at $1.20 a square foot in 2011, kind of just, you know, a nice gradual increase. And then as this new product started coming online, the Class A stuff with those rents we were just talking about really started to spike up. Everything I was reading, the Class A rents in the new developments right now are about $2 to $2.50 a square foot. And they're projecting, as the newer stuff continues to come online, about $2.50 to $3 a square foot. And this is just construction starts in units. 2011, construction started again. Again, one of the first markets in town to start new construction, with Midtown and downtown Atlanta. Those were really the first 3. As you can see, construction's picked up dramatically in 13 and 14. And this is the supply. This is what's underway. So here it is again. There's a big old spike in 2015 under construction, and this is what we are. Obviously, nothing got delivered in 2015 or very minimal, and that's where we currently stand at 2,000, a little over 2,000 units in the pipeline. I was talking to one of the guys that I know in the apartment broker, and I asked him the same question. I was like, where are they coming? Where did they get all this money? And he said, well, it's kind of a convergence of the baby boomers selling their houses because out in the suburbs and wanting to move back into an urban setting because, you know, the home ownership is not perceived as much as as an advantage anymore because, you know, everybody lost a ton of equity in their homes in the last downturn. So it's kind of changed the perception of home ownership. I know we're at an all-time low, if I'm not mistaken, around 70% home ownership versus where we were at an all-time high in 2007. So that's a dramatic change. The millennials starting to come of age, starting to make money. I think more than anything, that's what everybody's banking on. It's kind of back to the philosophy of, you know, build it and they shall come that we used to be in a lot. Because I asked the same question, and I was told that the demographics and all the projections support what's going on. That we're not in a place that's overheated in the Buckhead market. Intuitively, I say that doesn't make really sense to me because exactly what you said. I can see the cranes. I want to know where all the people are coming from. And then this is the deliveries. So deliveries, as you can see, obviously this is just a function of that it takes a couple years to get these things out of the ground and the scale of what they're building. So we started in 2011 with construction. It was 2013 for the first deliveries, just 500. And then 2015, we hit about 3,000 units and we still got 2,000 coming online. So that's obviously with the big spike in the current vacancy rate. Hi, this is Casey Lyon with Crossroads Appraisal Group, and I just wanted to say thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my video. If I can ever be of service or help you out with any information or appraisal related questions, feel free to give me a call at 404-724-5110, or I can be reached through my website at crossroadsappraisalgroup.com. Thanks so much, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future.